You're following the Canada immigration news, you may have noticed that there are multiple changes happening every day, all the time, as far as this Canada immigration is concerned. And you may also be wondering, why is it that recently, especially for those that applied for visa in October ending, there has been a lot of refusals. You may ask yourself, why is it like this? What is happening? In fact, this has prompted some people to believe that Canada is no longer issuing, study permits to people from outside Canada. I mean, as much as I've seen, people getting multiple refusals, I've also seen a few persons that have also got approval. So in this video, I will try to share some hints as to why, there are multiple refusals as far as this season is concerned, October, November, December of 2024. I'll talk about the what is called the Canada um, immigration level plan, 2025 to 2027 immigration levels plan. So basically, what they do is that every year they come up with different regulations as to what is going to happen the next 2 years as far as the immigration space is concerned. And in October of 2024, they've released another, immigration level plan. And these immigration level plans, there are different aspects, okay? There are permanent residency targets under different immigration category, the economic category, family, refugees and protected persons, humanitarian, compassionate, and others, okay? That used to be what the immigration level plan used to cover, nothing about temporary residency. But for the first time in 2000, the one they released in October, that was October 24, 2024. This is the first time they're including temporary resident, limit and other things in their immigration plan in terms of how they plan to increase or how to plan to decrease. Okay, so this temporary immigration includes those that are coming in as international students and also those that are coming in as temporary foreign worker. Now, they're both covering temporary immigration and also permanent immigration. And of course, they know that both temporary residents and permanent residents, they have a very big role to play in terms of supporting that economic growth, addressing all of the labor shortages, and they contributing to the diversity in Canada. They understand all of this, but they know that, yeah, in recent years, Canada, they've also supported a lot of, temporary residents, especially during COVID, okay, where when there was an increased labor shortage, increased demand for labor. So more of the international students meant that they will be able to, these international students will be able to work part-time and contribute to those labor shortage. Those that are also coming in as temporary foreign workers, a lot of them were also contributing to the, to solving the labor shortage, to fill that labor shortage. At that time, there was also the rule that if you're on a visitor's visa, if you get an employer that is willing to accept you, you'll be able to apply for an LMIA work permit from inside Canada. That particular process was abused, with people buying LMIAs and all that. I the immigration minister mentioned it, right? That money is exchanging hands, where it's supposed to be free, right? So that's for that. But I think the good thing is that they've already tracked down that LMIA, they've already regulated that. Now you can't apply for a visitor's visa. You can apply for you won't be able to apply for a work permit inside Canada if you are on a visitor's visa. So that's already that's already in place now. One of the things they've mentioned is that in keeping with these reductions, okay, so see where all of the refusals are coming from, okay, see where all the refusals are coming from. In keeping with this reduction, the target for new temporary residents arrival are set at two 673,650 in 2025, not 35. And then in 2020, it's 516,600. And then that will increase a little bit in 2027 to 543,000. So now these figures only represent those that are coming in through work or study permit, especially for new arrivals. So it doesn't include those that are already in Canada. Okay. So international student, the cap has already been announced, in terms of the number of permanent residency that will be number of international students that will be given approval. One of the things they've said is that for 2025, okay, based on the 20%, 10% reduction for 2024 targets, okay, and that is 485 new study permits, okay, and then for 2026, such no study permit remains the same for 2026. Okay. So for 2025, they are reducing the study permit issued to 437,000. This is from 485,000 for 2024, and then now to 2025. Now there's a catch. Okay. Even though we are in 2024, when you get admission, you're going to resume in 2025. So which means they're going to count those temporary residents that came into Canada in 2025, starting from January all the way to December. For 2024, they will count the number of study permit approval. But for 2025, they're going to count how many temporary residents came in. Now, if they are aiming to reduce the number of temporary residents for 2025, even though you apply in 2024, there is tendency that you already been factored into the immigration's level plan. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that if, let's say, I use this scenario, okay, a company used to hire 20 staffs. But now they've reduced it. And when they were doing 20, 100 people will apply. They will only take 20 that are qualified. Now that they've reduced the number of staff to 10, the same 100 apply for the job and 20 meet the criteria. You know what that means? They are going to give the job to only 10. Meaning that even though you qualify for the job, you're not going to be giving. So this is what it means now, that if at the end of the day, a lot of persons that apply for the study permit, they meet the criteria per se, they will not be able to accommodate everybody. Because if they want to say, you know what, initially we plan to bring in 500 and something thousand people for 2025. And now, a lot of people now meet the criteria. So let's trash the plan that we had and bring in as many people that meet the requirements. So you can see where the whole issue is coming from. That whether you meet the requirements, if it is, I don't know how they do it. If they do like cut off per month and say, yeah, we have 12 months in a year. So in January, these are the number of study permits that we have to approve. February, these are the numbers we have to approve. I don't know if that's how they do it, but overall, these are the main challenges. Okay. If a lot of persons meet the requirements, finances and planning wise, what are they going to do? They're going to say at the end of the day, yeah, they probably will find one reason. That is my guess. I may be wrong, But so as I do more research about this and get more information, I'm going to give you update. But another reason why there's been a lot of refusal, if you remember, when RC made that announcement in 2024, sometime in October and all that, by November 1st, you will only be able to get an post-graduation work permit if you are studying in a program that meets, that is of economic benefit to Canada. Okay. So what happened is that colleges were encouraging people apply before November 1st, apply before November 1st, apply before November 1st. So even those people that were not ready in terms of finances and all that, everybody was in a hurry to apply for November before November 1st. So you had, at that point now you have, there were a lot of applications that came in, all in the name of trying to beat that deadline. And what would they do? They will not be able to accommodate everybody based on the immigration's level plan because they have to only approve a certain amount, certain number. So I believe these two are the major challenges why it seems there are multiple refusers, as far as it's concerned.